Field rules is the primary concern. In the event of a scrub, the next available launch attempt will be Wednesday, November 18th. As a reminder, the launch escape system will be armed prior to propellant load today. Procedure 52.911 is open in the event of... Good to go. Copy C. Copy all. Unless there's any other questions.
I'm Victor Glover, NASA astronaut, Navy commander.
I'm Dr. Shannon Walker, NASA astronaut.
My name is Soichi Noguchi from Japan.
Hi, I'm Colonel Mike Hopkins, United States Air Force and NASA astronaut. I will be the commander on NASA and SpaceX's Crew-1 mission to the International Space Station.
Yeah, it's just, okay, so there's a look at Commander, that looks like Mike Hopkins. Yeah. So Kate, walk us through what are they doing in these seats, and obviously they're getting some checkouts, making sure the fit is good. Walk us through what is happening, the mechanics of what's going on in the room.
Yeah, so each astronaut goes that everything is fitting well and is comfortable. So these suit techs, like I said, they're all assigned, they're really allowed to wear is the NASA provided watch if they choose to wear one. So making sure that the chairs.
Looks like they're nearing the end of the suit up process, not ready to leave the room quite yet, but
the Crew-1 sticker up on top.
Oh, here they come. Here they come. The Crew-1 astronauts now beginning their journey to the launch pad ahead of this historic mission to the International Space Station.
Outside the ONC building, we have friends and family gathered there for final goodbyes prior to liftoff with our astronauts.
And that's a very different thing to the shuttle days. The last time we saw our families would have been at what we call the wave across the ditch, you know, the day before launch. And
this is all very carefully choreographed. You can you see in one of the shots some of the ropes and stanchions, but there are lots of people involved in the planning of where the immediate families are going to stand, where the small contingent of media will stand, especially in COVID times where we have to make sure we're keeping the crew safe and their families safe. They were able to have a little extra time with their families yesterday because we moved off of yesterday as the launch day, so they had a little extra downtime that I imagine was nice for them.
Yeah, you mentioned that everything is very well choreographed. You know, while this is the first time that we're seeing the crew make this journey to the pad on, you know, the day of, fingers crossed we don't have a scrub, they have performed this.
For timeline, the crew is departing for the pad on schedule.
All right, so we just heard the call out from the Corps that the crew is departing for the pad, and they are right on schedule. Again, they are leaving the Neil Armstrong Operations and Checkout Building, now beginning a 20-minute ride, 20 minutes or so across NASA's Kennedy Space Center. They're going to drive right behind where we're sitting. We can't wait for that. And out to Launch Pad 39A. Now, there are scores of people around the world watching and cheering on these four souls, including many team members who helped get the crew here today. Take a look. T-minus 3 hours and 3 minutes. So in about 8 minutes or so, we should hear the announcement of the crew arriving at the pad. Love hearing those shout outs from those folks. I think that little girl was my favorite, but Nicole, I know the first time you saw that video, you got to see a lot of familiar faces from the astronaut corps.
Yeah, it's fun, you know.
Stone at this might look a little different. We did remove the rotating service structure, but the heart, the bones of the fixed service structure from the shuttle days is still there. we made some modifications in safety and Saturn V Apollo days. So it's really neat to see them. They're approaching now.
We know the crew is having a blast. There they are. I knew they were going to do it. But you know, this is was Mike and Shane signing their names there in the spring with Crew-2.
And on Crew-2, one of your crew members will be, you know, Megan MacArthur-Bacon.
And Kate, we started to talk about the arrows, and then hi. I feel like he's watching us.
Well, you know, that's so awesome that he's doing that.
Do a quick exit from the tower. We utilize basically baskets that are on zip lines, and they slide down the wire to safety.
And you can see on your screen the crew beginning the ingress process already. So our timeline has this happening at T-minus arm. There's the outside of it, so they're making their way down that hallway as we speak. And they'll be stopping in the white room in just a moment.
You know, it's hard to see in that shot, but I'm very happy to say that we got blue skies, and the term white room it has a little bit of history. It was first used during the NASA Gemini missions, where the room right before entering into the spacecraft was painted white. So we love traditions, and we've continued this one by painting ours white as well. Like Marie said, it is a pretty small area, and it has just enough room for the crew and a couple of ground support 39 minutes. And Ingress
have a similar position at NASA called the Capcom. That's the person who really takes and there's the floor right there. That's the person who really takes all of the information that's happening down on the ground and relays it.
Some of the other stuff we're seeing on here, these silver little ovals, and I know that's a hatch, but what else are we looking at here?
So these are the ports for our Draco thruster system. As I've mentioned before, Dragon is capable of steering itself in space.
But with that, when they get to the space station, we've got one astronaut there right now. It's going to increase our research efforts up there by 300%. And we really believe that demand is going to grow. And the hope is ultimately that we'll have commercial space stations that are built by our space industry in the United States. And so, because there's so much research to be done.
All right, that's good stuff.
It's my honor, but this is about safety, and we're going to keep doing it.
Excellent. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Jim. Jim Morhart, Deputy Administrator with NASA. And we are now at T-minus 1 hour and 28 minutes. We'll talk great stuff.
So what you just heard there was the core team briefing the crew, letting them know that the leak check passed, and we're going to be moving along in the timeline here. They're now attaching the final exterior cover there on the side hatch.
And they mentioned that the levels that they checked were consistent with dry dress. They were referring to, and that's what we just heard confirmation of. So that they said that was great news. So it sounds like we're getting back on track now.
And there you've heard it. Just inside 44 minutes, the SpaceX launch director has announced polls are complete. We're go to head into propellant load. The Dragon team is going to begin retract of the crew access arm. So, Kate, with that, everything continuing to look good. We're right on time in the countdown.
Thanks for that, John I.
And it looks like the crew access arm has already begun to retract away. Just a beautiful sight.
So this is one of the last major visual milestones that we have before launch. So the crew access arm now moving away, and we are T-minus 43. My palms are sweaty with excitement, and it's going to be incredible. You know, night launches here, they just light up the sky, and so I'm super excited, and I can't even.
Standing by to hear that stage 1 liquid oxygen loading is complete. Stage 1 LOX load is complete. And there we have it, and stage 2 should finish shortly after, at about 2 minutes prior to liftoff. And good cause that stage 2 liquid oxygen load is complete. Space station flying over Kennedy Space Center. Crew-1 for all. Crew Dragon poised to go catch it. 20 seconds till liftoff.
T-minus 15 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
And resilience rises. Not even gravity contains humanity when we explore as one for all.
M1 propulsion is nominal.
That's the word we want to hear. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Throttle down. This is in preparation for max Q, which is maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Stage 1, throttle down.
There's that call out for throttle down.
Power and telemetry continue to be nominal for the vehicle.
Now with the call out of MVAC-D chill-in, similar to what we saw in the first stage Merlin engines, the second stage engine being prepared for its ignition coming up in just over 30 seconds.
And we have
2 Alpha.
Stage separation confirmed.
And you see that stage separation has confirmed. There goes that MVAC engine. Stage 2. Crew-1 is now on their way to the International Space Station. On the right side of your screen, you see Stage 2 continuing to burn. Over on the left-hand side is Stage 1 preparing for its return to Earth. And trajectory nominal.
We're going to shed about 70% of the velocity of that dropping first stage by the time this landing burn completes.
System is disarmed.
And SpaceX copies.
And Leah, the words we like to hear in nominal orbit insertion.
That's right, John. Nominal orbit insertion, as we mentioned, Stage 2. Oh, looks like some action on Stage 1. And I believe we've had a touchdown on the drone ship.
We've got Stage 1 has touched down on the drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. But now, the more important news, second stage is in orbit, right where we want, right on time, and we're getting ready for our next major activity, which will be Dragon spacecraft separation. Now, currently on the second stage, we are essentially venting pressure, purging the engine out, making sure everything is quiet in preparation.
Take a look. That's inside Crew Dragon right now. Our Crew-1 crew now coasting in low Earth orbit, still attached to that second stage. In just a couple of minutes, we should see that second stage in Soichi Noguchi. Now on their way to the International Space Station. First trip to space for Victor Glover. And separation confirmed. You can see that second stage departing. Crew Dragon leaving it behind. Confirmation from teams on the ground and the crew. You can see them monitoring those 3 display panels, monitoring their journey to the International Space Station and where they are in the world right now, or over the world, I should say.
Are opening up. Everything is happening right per the procedure, and we've got Crew-1 successfully on orbit. So with that, let's head over to our counterparts at Kennedy Space Center. Marie, how was that launch for you all there on the ground?
Oh my gosh, John, it just took our breath away. I mean, we could just turn right around in our seats and watch. We got up away from the desk to get a better look, and then we actually could see the booster coming back down.
Yeah, that was outstanding. Outstanding. And I don't even know what to say. High five. We're like high-fiving through the shield here.
High five. My high
And Dragon SpaceX, we see the view. Thank you. Looks amazing.
Yeah, Jay, looks amazing from up here, too.
This beautiful view coming to you live from space on Crew Dragon Resilience. Our Crew-1 crew giving us an amazing look outside the window, the very same view they're getting right now on their way to the International Space Station.
In Dragon SpaceX, we're getting a beautiful view on the webcast as well.
Yeah, okay, we copy all. I tell you, I wish you guys could all be up here with us, but
An amazing photo here, or video I should say, of the International Space Station from Crew Dragon becoming ever clearer as it gets closer.
Looks like the station is zooming in on Dragon. Now you can really clearly see Dragon from the station. That looks amazing.
Yeah, you can see that nose cone is open, just like you mentioned. That nose cone protects the forward bulkhead thrusters. It also protects the hatch that the astronauts will float through once they are attached to the International Space Station. Another view from Crew Dragon, looking at its future destination, its future home for the next 6 months, the International Space Station, even becoming more and more clearly defined as they approach it, as we said earlier, at about 0.5 meters per second. This awesome view over the shoulder of our commander and pilot, Mike Hawkins and Victor Glover, just monitoring the mission. Dragon is flying autonomously.
And this is a view from station from the Node 2 port that Dragon will be docking to. You can see the sunlight hitting Dragon as it gets closer and closer.
As a reminder, we moved directly through waypoint 1, which put us directly in front of the docking port. You can see it right here. That's the Node 2 forward port, where Dragon docked during Demo 1 and Demo 2. Crew Dragon crew has opted to hold at waypoint 2 for the time being so they can get some better views.
Dragon copies all. Copies all, I'm ready.
Final approach has begun. Crew Dragon approach.
And SpaceX from Dragon on the big loop.
We're traveling about 17,500 miles an hour over Earth right now, both about 262 statute miles over the planet.
The Dragon hatch.
If you look closely in the center at the very bottom, there was Chop, crew hands-off point.
Dragon SpaceX, soft capture confirmed.
Dragon copies, and we see the same.
SpaceX, hard capture complete.
Dragon copies.
Resilience, SpaceX, docking sequence is complete. Welcome to the ISS, Resilience.
You are looking at a live view of Dragon docked to the International Space Station. The crew still inside Dragon, preparing for hatch opening. They're out of their suits now, getting into some more comfortable clothes.
To the ISS, Resilience. And there they are, first across the hatch, Mike Hopkins. And here's Victor Glover.
You heard the crew here, the team here in Mission Control cheering to see them come across the hatch. There's Shannon Walker. And finally, Soichi Noguchi bringing up the rear. 4 new members, bringing the total Expedition 64 crew to a total of 7. Ready to increase the space station science and get to work.
You know, we just want to say thank you to everybody, SpaceX, NASA, the DoD, just all across the nation. It's been an incredible journey, and it's really amazing that this is marking the start of operational crew rotation missions to the International Space Station from the Florida coast, and so it was an amazing ride. I can't tell you how excited we were when that rocket lifted up the pad, and then the last 27 hours has gone really smooth, actually, and so we are so excited to be here.